My next guest lives near an encampment and feels his local government hasn't listened to his concerns. Andrew Selman is a Hamilton resident in Ward 3, where a large encampment sits. He says he plans to take legal action against the city. We've reached him today in Hamilton. Thank you so much for taking the time. Welcome to the program, Andrew.
Thank you, Natalie.
So you heard Doug Ford's plan. What do you make of it?
Well, quite frankly, I spoke in front of council a few weeks ago advocating for council to call to use the non-withstanding clause to get rid of the encampment. So I fully support this motion, or this measure rather, and I look forward to seeing some action as a result.
You live near Gage Park. This is an area in Hamilton that has a large encampment. Talk to us a little bit about what you see there.
So, I live near Gage Park, and even on the way to the park, there's an encampment just about 200 feet from Gage Park. So you have a few different encampments there. So I've seen everything from shotguns being recovered, and my photo is featured on the front page of the paper, to fires, prostitution, and certainly drug use on a daily basis. So as myself, with someone, I have a 4-year-old daughter with my wife, and we certainly don't feel safe anymore bringing our child to the park.
You said you don't feel safe bringing your child to the park. Obviously, that's one aspect of this. I'm wondering if you can walk us through a little bit how this affects your daily life.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mentioned that shotgun that was recovered. That's a mere 200 meters from my child's school. She's in junior kindergarten. Kids across the city have to walk past these encampments on the way to school. That's not only a dangerous situation for myself, but it's dangerous for all families around these neighborhoods. You see crack pipes on the street. I see needles. I've identified needle piles in the woods, encampments in the woods. So really, I've seen items stolen from my neighbors' porches and local businesses around my neighborhood here. So it's an unacceptable situation all around.
And Andrew, as you were speaking, we were showing the pictures that you provided to us that you took. I want to talk to you about another aspect of this bill, because it also aims at funding municipalities, millions of dollars, in fact, to assist in the transition away from encampments. Do you think adding funding is the right direction here?
Absolutely. There's only so much us, the taxpayers, can do. The fact is, Hamilton taxpayers put in $30 million just from our reserve funds in 2024, on top of $89 million from taxpayer-provided funds. So, we certainly need more money. The issue is not being tackled in spite of the money that we have spent. And I think that money does need to be effectively spent on transitioning people, of course, away from the encampments into secure housing.
So can you expand on that? What do you feel needs to be done to help people who are living on the streets? We know it's a complex issue. What would you like to see done?
Absolutely. So, credit to Hamilton, we have seen some action being taken. So they've recently brought on 400 plus units that were in previous disrepair. We can certainly start to see some individuals move from encampments into those situations, into those housing units. The reality is many of these people that I do pass by clearly have mental health challenges and severe drug addiction. At this point, I do support forced treatment, and I think that is going to be a requirement to get us out of this crisis, particularly the synthetic opioids that are ravaging communities across Canada.
Now, I'm going to address that there, because just a point of clarity for our viewers there, the Premier Doug Ford has said he is not considering involuntary treatment at this time. I just want to make that clear for people watching, listening at home. Would there not perhaps be a worry that people could just move to another area of the city?
Well, I heard the previous speaker speaking to people may move into the woods or in dangerous situations. They're already there. So I've identified encampments in the woods that are stealing power using generators. And as I said, you can go into the woods and find piles of hypodermic needles. So the fact is they're in the woods. They're, in the alleys behind our homes. So the situation is not safe already for the residents or those that are unhoused.
And as we mentioned earlier, you are part of a group that is pursuing legal action against the city with respect to these encampments. What does that look like?
So, we had an initial call yesterday with potential legal counsel. It's a group of residents that feel their counselors have, as well as the mayor, have not heard their concerns. So we're looking at two potential avenues, and certainly there's going to be, we're going to look at the loss of real estate value for those that are living close to encampments or sanctioned encampments. And then there is a potential for looking at lawsuits around loss of enjoyment of the parks due to the aforementioned unsafe atmosphere there. We're in the exploratory phase at this point. We're looking to organize potential crowdfunding to pay for that lawyer, which is certainly not inexpensive. So we're at that initial phase. Even today, we had many people reach out to us and pledge some support, or at least ask how they could work with us in this endeavor.
All right, Andrew, thank you so much. Andrew Selman is a resident of Hamilton. He joined us tonight.
Thank you.